Happy Friday, Warriors. Love seeing all the interaction from the daily motivation emails this week. I know one person even said they were printing one of those lists out so they could keep it near and dear and always in the forefront, which a lot of these things and themes become repetitive, but it's because we need this continual encouragement. Sometimes, if you're anything like me, you got to hear the same thing several times before it sticks because we're stubborn sometimes. So, love the interactions this week. Keep that coming. The first one I'll share is ask for help, not because you are weak, but because you want to remain strong. And how backwards do we have this typically in society? I know, like, asking for help seemed like failure to me in my come up. It showed weakness, it showed failure, it showed that I wasn't good enough. And man, the opposite is absolutely true. Asking for help is a sign of courage, is a sign of boldness, it's a sign of humility. And don't wait until it's way too late before you ask for help. Raise your hand. Typically in leadership, at least around here, like we get encouraged when somebody comes and asks a question because we like to dive in. We like to get into the details. We like to nerd out on the widget. And then on the more serious stuff, like if you're struggling with something, just know that you don't have to walk this journey alone, and you shouldn't walk this journey alone. And that leads us into the next one about challenges. And challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew. And when you read that or think about that, challenges reveal things that you never really knew. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like when you think about that, because I could see it going both ways. Because I know, like, some good things, I run to challenges. I'm willing to step up and dig into them. I know that the hardest challenges I've ever went through helped shape my purpose of building an army of mountain movers. That wouldn't exist if it weren't for the toughest struggles or the mountains in my journey. But then I can also think about the ways that I don't react well with when challenges come up. Like if I don't control my mindset and I'm running and somebody cuts me off, I get very, very angry. And I could get over emotional during changes and during challenges. And there's some negative consequences if I'm not working on that and trying to become better and being proactive with, hey, how am I going to react when this challenge comes about? So whether you're asking for help or whether there's an ongoing challenge in your life that you're facing, just don't do it alone because life is better together. And just face them, and ask questions, and be courageous enough to tag somebody in to help you out. And the last one, and really these three daily motivations this week kind of coincide with each other. And outstanding leaders go out of their way to boost the self-esteem of their personnel. If people believe in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish. And I don't know about y'all, but when I make a mistake, I am my own worst critic by a landslide. The last thing I need is somebody to come in my office and just kick me repeatedly while I'm down. Like that's going to be counterproductive for me. The leaders in my journey that have came in and showed a level of care and grace when I made a mistake are the ones that probably had the most impact. So as a leader or as a coworker or as a family member, when somebody makes a mistake, how do you show up in that? That could be a challenge to the previous point. How are you showing up? Are you showing up with love and grace? Or are you showing up with wrath, anger, disappointment? Are those producing the results you want when you show up like that? Or rather, if you show up with grace and humility and care and training, what could be the fruit on the other side of that? Finish strong, mountain movers, and I will see you next week.